Are you looking to reinvent yourself so that you can become the absolute best version of you possible? Well, you are in luck, because in this video, I'm going to take you through my 8 steps on how you can reinvent yourself, plus a little checklist that you need before you can get started with these 8 steps. And number 8 is actually the most important, because it's a mindset shift that you need to have to be able to reinvent yourself. So make sure you stay till number 8, because it's definitely the most important out of all of them. Hi, my name is Taylor, and I am a young Aussie chick with a big dream. I want to change the education system of the world, but that is obviously a huge task, and there's a lot of different things that need to be done. So I thought I would start with my YouTube channel, because you've got to start somewhere, right? But anyway, enough about me. If you want to learn how you can reinvent yourself to become the best version of you possible, stay tuned. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get weekly notifications as to when I put out new content. It's going to be a whole bunch of videos all around mindset, personal development, basically anything that's going to help you become the best version of yourself possible. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell. Okay, now let's jump in. Okay, so to begin with, I've made a sort of little self-reinvention checklist that you need to be able to tick these things off in order to reinvent yourself, because these are going to really set you up for success. Okay, so the first thing you need on this checklist is you need to be resilient if you want to reinvent yourself, because it's going to be hard. People are going to have opinions on why you're trying to change, who you're trying to change into. It's not going to be a super easy process. It can get difficult, so you need to be very resilient. Okay, so the second thing you need is going to be a support system. So it's going to be hard. That's why you need to be resilient, but you also need people that support you and can hold you accountable. Reach out to your family and friends and tell them that you want to change and become a better version of yourself, and they're going to help you get there and help hold you accountable along the way. Okay, the third thing is a new self-image. So who do you actually want to become? Have you figured that out yet, or do you just know that you want to change? It's very important to get clear on who you want to become so that you know what direction you need to be taking. And the last thing on this checklist is to actually create steps and a plan as to how you can become that person. Because it's all well and good to know who you want to become, but if you don't actually create a plan as to how you're going to get there, then it's very unlikely that you will actually become that person. Okay, so once you have all of these things ticked off on your checklist, now we can actually get to the steps as to how you can reinvent yourself. So step number 1 is to figure out what your strengths are. What are you good at? What can you be paid for? What are the things that you love to do? Like, what are your strengths? And ask other people what they think your strengths are as well. It's super easy if you reach out to family or friends and just say, hey, I'm just doing a little bit of research for, you can just call it a project that you're doing, or you can tell them straight up what you're doing and say, I want to do a bit of research and I would like to ask you what you think my strengths are. Because it's all well and good to know what you think your strengths are, but other people might see you and have ideas and opinions on things that you're good at that you've never even considered before. Step number 2 is to create a plan based off a self-assessment. So what we need to do first of all is we need to assess where you're at, mentally, financially, physically, in all of the different areas of your life. And then we need to look at where you want to go. So we look at where you are now versus who you want to become and where you want to go. Once you've figured out where you want to go and who you want to become, then we make a step-by-step plan as to how you're going to get there. We need to make sure that they're realistic and achievable, and the way that you can do this is by setting SMART goals. So if you've never heard of SMART goals before, they stand for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So you can Google SMART goals, and there's a whole bunch of worksheets and PDFs that you can fill in that will help you to achieve these SMART goals. But it's a fantastic way to goal set, because it makes sure that it's very specific, it's measurable, so you know sort of the steps that you're taking and measuring how you're getting there. Attainable, so it needs to be realistic. It needs to be relevant to who you're trying to become, and it needs to be time bound. So if you don't put a time and set a date on goals, it's very unrealistic that you're going to actually achieve them anytime soon. For 4 years, said that I wanted to move to Bali, and I just kept putting it off and making excuses and all of these different reasons as to why I couldn't move. And then when I finally put a date on it, I moved there within like 2 months. So it's completely doable to achieve your goals or become a different person if you put a time on it and stick to the SMART goal system of creating goals. Okay, step number 3 is to try things out. If you don't know what you like or who you want to become, go and try a whole bunch of different things. You can do painting classes or cooking classes or join a team sport or start dancing or whatever you want to do. Figure out who you want to become and the things that you want to do as a new person. So a lot of people don't actually know what they like doing and what they're passionate about and what their favorite hobbies are to do. So if you want to reinvent yourself into somebody new, figure out what sort of hobbies and passions you're going to have as a new person, and then just try a whole bunch of things to make sure that you actually like them. Now, I'm curious, are you one of the people that is lucky enough to already know what you're passionate about? If you are, drop it in the comments below and let me know what your favorite hobbies are or your favorite passions are. I would love to know, get to know you guys a little bit better and what you are passionate about. Okay, step number 4 is to manage your finances well. So reinventing yourself or any sort of change in general in life costs money. If you want to study a new thing, you either have to pay for an online course or go to school. If you want to buy a new house or move to a new city, you obviously have to save up for a mortgage. If you are starting your own business, you might need some money to invest in actually getting started. So make sure that you have a little bit of money saved if becoming a new person and reinventing yourself is going to require you paying for a couple of extra things that you wouldn't usually have to pay for. Step number 5 is to muster up all of the courage that you have, because this is going to be sort of difficult. It's not going to be super easy to transition from one person to being a completely new person without having to take risks and doing bold things and maybe telling people things that you're scared to tell them. If you maybe have to cut out some people of your life if they're super negative and you want to become a more positive person. There are things that are going to be scary and you're going to have to take risks. So make sure to muster up all of your courage, because you can do this. You just have to believe in yourself. Okay, step number 6 is to actually use your support group. So we spoke about the support group in the checklist that I gave you at the start of the video. Make sure that you use them. These people are here to help you. They love you. They appreciate you. They want to see you grow and become the best version of yourself possible. If they don't, then they probably shouldn't be in your life when you do reinvent yourself. And if you don't have anyone that can support you, you don't have any friends or family that you feel like are willing to support you in reinventing yourself, please feel free to reach out to me, because I would love to support you. I will happily be your friend and your cheerleader as to when things are getting tough. Happily give you any advice. So please reach out if you do need a support system and you don't have one. Step number 7 is to remind yourself of your commitment every single day. So you obviously have written down some things as to who you want to become and maybe set some SMART goals around how you're going to become that person. So put them on 2 pieces of paper and stick them up where you work, stick them in your bathroom, stick them above your bed, stick them somewhere that you're going to see them all the time, because then you're going to get daily reminders as to why you're actually doing this. Especially when things get hard, you can feel like you just sort of want to give up, and why are you even doing this to begin with? So if you have your goals and you have who you want to become stuck somewhere very obvious and you're looking at it every day, it's going to motivate you and constantly remind you as to why you're putting yourself through this. Okay, and step number 8 is to accept failure, learn, and continue on with your journey. It's going to be hard, you're going to want to give up, but you need to learn from your mistakes. Everybody fails. I've failed at so many things, but every single day I'm still pushing myself to be better, looking at what I learned from the situations where I failed. Because in my mind, there's no such thing as failure, there's only learning, in my opinion. So when you do fail, or when you feel like you haven't succeeded in a way that you want to, don't just stop trying. Keep trying, keep going, push yourself, because if you really do want to become a better version of yourself and reinvent yourself, you're going to have to keep pushing and growing all the time, because you're constantly evolving into this new person. It's not just like you can flick a switch and it happens overnight. It's going to happen slowly. You need to make daily progress, little steps at a time. So don't give up, and make sure to always get back on the path if you feel like you've been knocked off. So if you are truly serious about reinventing yourself, you have to make sure that you never give up. It's going to happen eventually. You just have to keep pushing. It's going to take time, patience, and a lot of effort to make the change that you want. But if you follow the steps that I've just talked about, it's going to happen eventually. You just have to keep pushing. Now, if you feel as though you need some support in implementing these 8 steps and it feels too overwhelming to do it yourself, or you need someone that's a support system or anything that I could help with, please reach out to me, coachtaylorvictoria@gmail.com. I can help you out with anything that you need. Just shoot me an email and we'll figure out how I can support you. And if you would like to receive weekly updates as to when I put out new videos, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you get all of the videos, all of my new content that I'm putting out every week. I know you're going to love it if you found this video valuable and liked what I had to say. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next episode, bye!